I'm just going to read from chapter one of the hidden track. It's chapter one, touch. Can everybody hear me? Okay, perfect. There are times I would get lost in the cracks of the ceilings. I could envision a life that seemed so close to reality, yet so distant. I would search in the ceiling for a face or an image of anything to take me away. Something that could take me out of my present reality. I could use the ceiling as a mirror of my own reflection. It was as if my eyes would create an illusion to keep me contained. I would lose all feelings of anything that felt human. This became a normal ritual. It was as if some part of me knew how to take over my body or my mind. Or maybe it was just the drugs. Maybe it was the constant binges I would go up on to cope, staying up for days to get high, going up on a Tuesday and yet still up when the next Tuesday came around. But by Wednesday, I was done. The crash came heavy and I became sloppy. My body would totally collapse on day 7, the day of rest. Maybe it was his words on repeat. I love you, baby. His touch, that I was feeling deep inside, gave me the strength to keep going. Yet, the more I continued, the more I felt like I was at the same spot, not moving anywhere. The more that the money came in, the more the money that went out. But the house with the white picket fence with our 2 babies was still there waiting for us. Our dream. I would marry him and be his queen forever. Our love was that deep. His words sent chills down my spine. I could get lost in his smile. He was so different from any man I had ever met. My king. He would always be just that. My king. Oh, yeah. Oh, fucking yeah. Fuck, baby, your pussy's so tight. Yeah, baby, right there. Right fucking there. I'm gonna come, he said as his body jerked faster and faster, releasing his load inside of me. He was trying to stay inside, giving me the saddest case of a fucking lap dance. But his 30 minutes was up. I pushed his fat, hairy, white, sweaty body off me as I woke up from the dream world in the ceiling, where I was visualizing getting lost in forever and not coming back. The cheap hotel we were in was a mess. Cigarette ashtrays were full, garbage was overflowing, and the washroom was a disaster from the party last night. I had been up for 3 days, needed to sleep. Cleaning was not always number one priority on my list when it was a busy night. However, I had more to be made. 500 more to be exact. And then I could rest and move locations. I hated when ICE booked us in shitty hotels. Yes, it was cheaper, but some of my clientele wouldn't even come to those hotels because they knew it was a hot spot. They knew every new bitch on the block gets put in hot spot like these to start out. But little did these new bitches know, there was a lifestyle and a history that went along with the game. The illusion you're selling to these tricks, ICE only put me here tonight as punishment and because I didn't make enough money last night because I got too high. He was punishing me and had not called me all day, not even to check in. He was just running the work phone and sending clients over while texting me in the process, so I was ready. I knew the drill. If I had not made 2,500 by night's end, it would be a problem. We had a vision, and I had to do my part to make it work just like he did. This was a fucking sweet my ass, I mumbled to myself. What did you say, pumpkin? He approached the washroom in his white boxers, carrying the condom he removed from his red, shriveled up penis hanging out his boxer briefs. He had a brown stained teeth from too much coffee and cigarettes, but could not close his mouth for the life of him. He was trying to hold on to his little brown strands of hair poking out the side of his head. Nothing, I'm just getting a bath ready. Bath? I thought we had another round. That's another 500. You're breaking my balls. Go home to your wife, Johnny. I'm sure she has a nice Italian feast waiting for you. You don't play nice. When can I see you again? He said, walking away to grab his clothes off the hotel chair. You know the drill, Johnny. Johnny reached in his pocket and grabbed a stack of cash. He grabbed 3 crisp $100 bills. And here's a tip for always being you. Buy yourself something nice, and here's a treat I brought you. Because you know you like it, but you really need to lay off it. Johnny passed me the money and about a gram of cocaine. I could not help but smile. He always had the best cocaine. The shit ICE picked up always got too much cut, making my high get fucked up and paranoid. See you later, Johnny. Okay, baby cakes. The Mississauga strip of hotels were always selling pussy for a cheap price. It was no wonder my clients didn't want to come here. At nighttime, it was infested with cops, and there's always at least one John trying to call his wife saying he got locked up for buying pussy. It was not long before I was able to soak my tired body in the bathtub. I set everything nice, champagne and cocaine, my breakfast of champions. A little C&C time is always needed after a long day of work. I mean, how else was a girl supposed to handle this life? I had so much acting to do to feed these hopeless, pathetic men a dream they could never have. Some just wanted the pussy, but others wanted a wife with my looks to take care of. The pussy was the control. Pussy had the power to control many things, and weak-minded men were one of them. The soothing hot water on my skin with Epsom salt to top it off was to die for. It was always kept my body intact. I grabbed my glass of Moet to soothe me. It went down smooth, fulfilling every taste bud in my mouth. I had my mirror set up by the bathtub with a crisp $100 bill, and I opened the bag of bleach white cocaine. I made a huge thick line, as it had been a while, or seemed like it since my last bump. All I knew was I sure needed a wake-up to pull me back together. The tingling feeling in the back of my throat mixed with the taste of pure cocaine, I needed more. I started to hear all kinds of noises, and I knew it was my paranoia. I could hear Ice's voice coming closer and closer. This always happened after days of staying up. My mind would always play tricks on me, and sometimes my vision. I dipped my head down in the bathtub. The water always had a way of calming my things. It's funny, we forget water is a healer. My Pisces ass always remembered because I love the water. The warmth of the water massaging my body, a fresh new start to a day's work. I had 500 more to make. I sunk my body into the bathtub and my eyes started to close. It must have been the champagne. I sat up and opened the bag of cocaine to make another line to pick me up. Someone began knocking at the door. The light knocks eventually started to get louder and faster, so I quickly jumped out the tub, grabbing a white hotel towel to cover my body. The knocks continued louder. "I'm coming," I said, rushing to the door. The knocks continued when I flung the door open as fast as I could to see who it was. Before I could even look, Ice pushed his way in the door. His 6'2" muscular caramel body was no match to my 5'5" slim but tanned body. Ice always dressed in the best clothes, and today Versace was his selection. He had on the Versace sweater Biggie, the famous rapper, used to wear before he passed, and the same vintage Versace glasses. He had on dark denim jeans with mustard classic Timberland boots. He looked so good, as always, good enough to eat. "You girl, you didn't hear the knock?" he said, pacing from side to side. He took his sunglasses off after barging in, and I knew he was angry because of his tone. He investigated each corner of the room. He made his way to the bathtub, grabbed the Moet bottle, the bag of cocaine, and the $100 bill. "Why are you not answering my texts?" he said, holding up the bottle and the bag of cocaine. I did not respond. I just looked at him. "Now, cat got your fucking tongue, eh, you girl?" he said. The anger on his face, I put my head down. The beautiful brown-skinned man with his pretty boy smile and was nowhere to be found. He was a monster, one I feared meeting. This was not my baby Ice. I was not sure who this was, but I hated it. "Now you can't talk, eh? Get on your knees now, you girl. You were already under punishment, but now you fucked up. Don't answer my calls, fucking up business. Last night 'cause you're high. Today the same shit. I already told you about this. Crawl over here to your daddy," he said. I was in fear of punishment. 2 days in a row? That I fucked up meant double punishment. Before I could even begin crawling, he smashed the bottle over my head, causing me to see stars. As I fell to the ground, "You want to play around with our dream? Our kid's future?" he said, raising his voice. My head was numb and I started to feel the blood running down my face when I started to kick me repeatedly in my stomach. "You gonna learn today. I paid for that bleach blonde weave you got on. I can rip it out." I just laid there, taking his beating. It was not the first and would not be the last. Ice grabbed my long, blonde, $600 human hair weave. He was pulling my head all over the floor while he slapped me on my ass hard. I was naked with the towel on the floor and blood down my face. "Look what you made me do, baby. Look what you made me do." He unstrapped his belt and started lashing me with it uncontrollably. I couldn't no longer hold the pain any longer. I started to contrive uncontrollably. Ice paused the lash whipping. "You gonna listen to daddy now, eh, you girl? He buckled pants and pulled his jeans down in Tommy Hilfiger boxers. What do you want right now, baby? You want your daddy? Yes! Say it again. You want your daddy? Yes! Say it again. My body was throbbing with pain. My face was full of blood. I tried to hold back my tears, but Ice rammed his penis inside me so hard it made me cry even worse in agony. He fucked hard and fast. Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? He repeated until his body started spazzing uncontrollably. I hated when he did not wear a condom. The amount of abortions I had to get because of Ice. Why you gotta make me angry? All you had to do was listen like a good girl. Clean yourself up. Bob is coming to pick us up in an hour to bring us to the Trump Hotel downtown. He needs you for a couple days. He's gonna take you shopping and give you $5,000. I did not say a word. I just did as I was told. It was the only way to make him happy, and his happiness was what made me feel worthy enough to keep going. The hidden track. Thank you.